What's up, guys? MikeiGuy video, and today we're going to be ranking all of the maps on Bo2 from freaking town all the way to buried. The criteria, because most people don't do it, it has to be replayable. Difficulty cannot be too hard for noobs, and it cannot be too easy for like veterans like me. You know, people who like get world records, you know, Origins Easter egg in 5 minutes. Has to have a decent Easter egg, and the guns on it, you know, it can't just like have trash. You know, like the Mauser on Origins, awesome new gun. That's what moves Origins up, obviously, because, you know, everyone loves the Mauser and the Boomhilda. First up is Bus Depot. It's good for what it is. Survival map, no pack-a-punch, and no perks. It can be fun sometimes, but to me, has little to replayability. No Easter egg, obviously. But if you're warming up and looking for a challenge, I mean, it's for you, but I'd rather just go play Nuketown. Secondly, on this list, it's the greatest map of all time, aka Origins. S tier easy. All you need to know is the name, and you obviously put it in S tier. You don't even need to play the map. It's the most near-perfect map we've gotten. Such a great map. Play with friends, play by yourself. Either way, you're not going to get bored. Replay it 100 times. There's just so much to it. The staves, the Easter egg, the Iron Fist, the Shepherd of Fire coming on every time you start it up. Plus, first Easter egg cutscene of all time. I know, crazy. First map to have 4 wonder weapons, obviously. And also, has a freaking Panzer. You know, one of the most iconic zombie bosses of all time. And if your subjective opinion is different than my objective opinion, because my opinion's right and your opinion doesn't really matter, then, you know, you're just wrong. Plus BO1 campaign steps in the Easter egg. Honestly, I'm speechless. I don't know what else to say. It's just like, it's the GOAT. Thirdly, I've got one of my personal favorite maps, a childhood relic, Town. It's such a perfect map for beginners. It's basically my childhood. I didn't have the DLCs for a while, so I played just 5 hours a day co-op with my brother, split screen. I know nostalgia is such a big factor in this. It isn't the GOAT. I can definitely tell you a bunch of maps that are better, but it's definitely replayable. Although the fire gets annoying after a while because the zombies explode in your face, and that's what kills you whenever you get a nuke. But it's beginner friendly, and the only downside is that there's no Easter egg, and there's not really a cool amount of weapons on there. There's no new starter pistol, etc. And for the fourth map, I've got Die Rise. C tier, easy, end of the day. I've never played this map, so I can't really give my own opinion, but judging by what I've seen, it's decently enjoyable if everything goes right. But the Easter egg is lacking, and it's so easy to fall off and die. The main reason I ranked it this high is because of Liquefier. It used to be the greatest wonder weapon of all time, but after the patch, not so much. You know, you can't kill an entire round of zombies with one shot. Personally, my favorite map to play whenever I need a big challenge, because, you know, you get jungle around 20 if you're unlucky, it's Nuketown. It's A tier. Say it's any lower, you're just bad, get good. It's got a variety of new weapons, like the M27, AK-74U, etc. It's also incorporated with the Moon Easter egg, which is just awesome, because, you know, it goes from Samantha to Richtofen, which is, I mean, cool. It's replayable because, you know, the random system about the perks. The main reason it's not above town is because it's mainly luck-based, which is a downfall and a upside. And here we are, Transit. Could have been far better than it is, you know, if it was made with a new engine. Nothing more to be said. I kinda like it. Now, we are at another great map to chill with friends on, or by yourself, Buried. It's easily A tier. I've seen a lot of people hate on this map because how easy it is, but it's not really that easy whenever you consider how hard it is to get through the maze, especially with the witches following you, you know, stealing your points like all the females you've ever met. But it's definitely the best Victor's Crew Easter egg, and has a variety of cool guns like the Paralyzer, the Remington, the LSAT, and introduced the Regular Mark II. Like, that's one of the biggest, best, most iconic wonder weapons of all time. Plus, the amount of times you can play this map is probably the best on this list because there's so many new things in it, like one of the most overpowered non-wonder weapon guns, the SVU Sniper. Another survival map on Green Run, and the last one, It's Farm. This map is a much better version of Bus Depot since it includes perks, and it brings a brand new aesthetic to BO2 with it being so dark, dusty, and musty. But I can only play this a few times before getting really bored, and the guns aren't as big variety like in Nuketown, and there's no correlation with the Easter egg. It's also the second hardest map to high round next to Bus Depot, which makes it B tier. The second and last S tier of BO2, we got Mob of the Dead. Probably the best, like, celebrity map in my opinion, where you play characters that actually kind of existed, you know. But it's almost as near perfect as Origins, with new guns being introduced, like the Blundergat and the Acid Gat, and the Death Machine, the Uzi, the Tommy Gun, the AK-47, etc. You know what I'm saying. You also have a great Easter egg with 2 endings, continuing cycle or ending cycle. So, and you get to choose. The best part about it, through fighting your friends. Who doesn't like to fight their friends and beat them up, make them bleed, make them have to go to the ER and break their back? And like, Bane did to Batman, Superman did to Batman. Batman's just getting wrecked these days. You've also got Brutus, who's not as cool as the Panzer, but adds a new sense of storyline. Not to mention, this is one of the most important maps storyline-wise. It's also very beginner friendly, unlike a map like Origins, and you don't need to know the entire Easter egg to get a one weapon, which isn't a bad thing about Origins. It's just something Mob of the Dead does better, which places it in S tier. Another pro of the map is that they added Electric Cherry, which is one of the best things, and the opening cutscene is probably the greatest of all time. Easy S tier.